cargo contamination is a costly issue for terminals and tankers. If the cargo is off-spec during loading, there are two main sources for it: contamination before the manifold valve and contamination after the manifold valve. The causes of contamination on the ship include residue of previous cargo in the cargo lines, the cargo tanks were not properly washed, or incorrect valves open or closed. The causes of contamination on the terminal include residue of previous cargo in the cargo lines, the product was manufactured incorrectly, or incorrect valves open or closed. The tanks holding the product to be transferred are sampled before transfer starts. Samples are the only way to prove the source of any contamination. The manifold is the first point for cargo to enter into the ship. Any contamination after this is considered to be because of ship. This makes the manifold sampling the most important one. The manifold sample with the manifold valve closed. The sampling needs to be witnessed by the surveyor. The receiver does not want the cargo in the tank to fail because of dirty cargo lines. And even in the event of cargo failure, we need to be sure that it was not because of cargo lines. We take the sample from near to the point where cargo enters into the tank, before opening the tank valve. The long terminal cargo line has several strategic points for sampling. After tank has 1 foot of cargo, cargo loading is stopped. Manifold valve, drop valve and discharge valve are closed. We then start the pump and collect the sample from the first available drain on the cargo line. Open sampling is done with tank dome open. Open sampling is very common with cargoes such as palm oil. In this, a small container which is tied with a rope is lowered into the tank from the tank dome to collect the sample. Restricted sampling allows a sampling in closed environment but with small exposure to cargo and its vapors. There are different makes that provide restricted samplers. One of such is MMC restricted sampler. This sampler is attached to the same vapor lock from where alloys are taken. There are a number of closed samplers in the market, and each of these are made in view of achieving one target, which is no exposure to liquid or vapors while sampling. This is important while sampling toxic cargoes. One example of the closed sampler is this one from MMC.